students. We are going to be moving on to informative presenting today. And what I want to start out mentioning is that with informative presentations, you are shaping perceptions. This is a purpose of informative presentations, is that you are informing your audience. In essence, you're shaping their perceptions by virtue of what you choose to tell them and what you choose not to tell them, because you're framing the narrative. And so you do sometimes persuade people when you inform. But that is not your purpose. Your purpose is not to persuade them. So you want to differentiate those two purposes. And this becomes really important when you're considering your topic. Because we both inform and persuade in this class, I have students that think of really great topics, and I say, well, choose wisely. Keep your informative topic informative, and then save your persuasive topic for the one that you really feel like you want to move somebody's and change their opinion or their position or make a really strong claim, because some topics are better suited to one purpose or the other. And you perhaps can think about that as you're considering topics that you want to present on for your informative and persuasive speeches right now. Let's get into the 3 types of informative presentations that we're going to focus on. The first type is descriptive. And this type of informative presentation satisfies audience members' needs for facts, for figures, for data, and it addresses the what of an issue. So there's a couple of different organizational patterns that are well suited to a descriptive presentation. And the first is a topical pattern. And that's a very basic pattern where your 3 main points are in a topical relationship to your main topic. So an example would be, what are the 3 main styles of leadership? And you would kind of open up your presentation saying, today I'm going to be talking about what the 3 main styles of leadership are. And then your preview of those main points would be, I'm going to be telling you about authoritarian, democratic, and laissez-faire styles. And so those would be those 3 main types. And so your topical relationship in this case would be types of leadership, those 3 types. Another example of an organizational pattern that's well suited to a descriptive presentation answering the what of an issue is a chronological pattern. And think of this as something that would follow a trend, like a past, present, and future, of something like maybe how do you conduct a job search? What are the steps to doing something? So, or maybe a trend in an industry, like say, what's the past, present, and future of social networking in marketing? What have we done in the past? What are we doing now? And what do we see in the future in marketing a business? And that might be something that you're interested in presenting to us, again, informing us, but you may be shaping some of our ideas and our perceptions about the topic that you've chosen. Moving on to the next area of informative presenting, we're going to talk about a demonstration speech. And this type of informative presentation aims to explain the how of an issue. And so, how do we do something? How is something accomplished? You may, in your visuals, have an object that you use to demonstrate this. What I'm talking about in the how of an issue that can have one example of a pattern to arrange your main points is called the spatial geographic pattern. And an example of a topic that would be well suited to this would be, how can somebody make their workspace more ergonomic? And that might be your topic, and that might be, today I'm going to tell you about how one can accomplish this in their workspace. And then those 3 areas that I'm going to tell you their relationship to one another might be, organizing according to, inspiring creativity, helping one organize for more increasing productivity, and finally helping one organize in order to be more ergonomic for increasing health and wellness. And so those may be the hows that you're going to speak to in order to explore ergonomic workspaces and their relationship to one another and to employee satisfaction or whatever it is. So that might be an example of something like this. But if you're demonstrating it, you might have charts and graphs. You might have pictures of how Google does it as an example of an organization that enhances creativity through an ergonomic workspace. An explanation is the third type of informative speech. If you're explaining the why, the intricacies of an issue in order to address those why questions that you're kind of anticipating an audience might have in order to inform them about your topic. There's a couple different sub areas of this and organizational patterns. The cause and effect one is very popular. So think about something like, why does a team become dysfunctional? What are some of the causes and the effects of why a team does? And another one might be something like a comparison contrast pattern, where you might say something like, why does your first week of work in some ways resemble your first week of college? And you could say, you may feel that you're in a new environment. You may feel that you're in uncertain territory. And I'm going to draw some comparisons and also make some contrasts as to how these are alike and how they are dissimilar. So that may be how you are able to explain the whys and, special circumstances and intricacies of an issue that you've chosen to inform us about. So formats or settings for presentations that are informative in the workplace that you may be asked to give or attend are things just like briefings, where it's a very short presentation where you might attend giving information about a particular upcoming event, or a report given in a meeting that just kind of gives an account of the status quo or an update on something that's being implemented in the organization. Another one would be a training and development workshop, where you may be being asked to assess and give feedback to the organization, and then given a training and development to maybe implement some change, and you're being given new information about something that is going to inform the upcoming change. So maybe you've attended some of these, given some of these. Maybe there's a consultant that's been asked to come into the organization. So these are some typical formats that you may find informative presentations or speaking happening quite a bit in the professional setting in the workplace.